Hey everybody, it's Anther, and welcome back to Lucy Got Problems. When the last we left off, we had found, after running into a pool of censored fish, we have arrived at a magical door in the middle of a forest, behind which is a pretty much mostly naked witch, woman, sorceress, seer, whatever. And we are faced with I just noticed, I think her arms are actually just blue, like a dark navy, because it doesn't look like gloves. It just looks like her skin alters color right about there. Cool. Anyway, I think I'm going to try to be sarcastic and see where this goes. If it fails, then it fails when we roll back. Since it's a seer, you must have clearly seen why I'm here. The lady's eyes were hidden behind the shaded glass, but it seemed like she rolled them. Must be for divination purposes. Oh, sure. Oh, well, let's see. Fat with a PH. A fat deck of cards suddenly appeared in the seer's hand. She spread the deck like a fan, blindly pulled several cards from the middle and threw them in front of her. Instead of falling down, the cards hung up in midair before the seer, so that only I saw the identical patterns in their flip sides. She quickly glanced at them above her shades and turned her gaze at me. Do you seek the Orb of Fate? Wow, you really are the seer. Can the cards really give such accurate readings? What do you mean with cards? I don't see any of the reason for a spy from the Legion of Darkness to loiter in this part of the forest. Then why did you spread the cards? I was checking with my delivery boy. There's no exact response from the customer service anyway. Turns out the frog maw regenerated from the tentacle and ate the courier en route. Okay, what a waste. Told him to hack it into smaller pieces. And you realize I'm a spy for my next-gen top-grade sneaking suit? No. I had a prophetic nightmare a couple days ago. There was your personnel file and some TV series spoilers. Now that's something. So, about that. No. No what? It's my answer to your question. You mean you don't know where the Orb of Fate might be? I mean, I know perfectly well where the Orb of Fate is. I have it, but you won't get it. Why is that? Because I'm not going to give it to you. Are these all the questions you had? Even if not, I'm off. Listen, lady. Seer. I took a very flippin' long and hard trip to get here. Those cray squirrels almost got me. I got lost in the cursed forest. My shoes gave me blisters. I was starving. I lost faith in my favorite bakery. You can't just kick me out empty-handed. And why is that? I don't know, but it's just not right. I suffered so much. It's not fair. I don't even know why I'm being refused. I see. Now be so kind and take your foot off the doorstep or we'll get chopped off by portal magic. And she reached out to the handle to close the door. Stop! You think if you're such a pompous magical being you can just push me around? How arrogant and insensitive. Yeah, I don't have a cool, fashionable, shiny exclamation mark over my head, but I have feelings. You can't just dismiss a poor adventurer with nothing. It's totally plain heartless. What did you say? I got a bad feeling about this. Well, I said that. Go directly to the part where you try to insult me, describing my best traits. Okay, never mind. That was just for pleasure. What did you say about the exclamation mark? Well, it exists. It's pretty big, red, and shiny. Levitates above your head right here. Never saw something like this. That's so. You know, I changed my mind. You will get the Orb of Fate. What? Just that? What? I don't know. This laugh seemed strangely familiar. Where could I have heard it before? First, you didn't like that I wasn't going to give you the Orb of Fate. Now you don't like that I am. Say, are you ever satisfied? Me, I am. I'm always satisfied. On the clock. Maybe these are the times I skip breakfast. Or dinner. Or when they wake me up too early or when... It doesn't matter. Don't change the subject. You think I don't see through your devious plan? Oh, and what is my devious plan? I do not know, but I'm sure you have one. I feel something fishy about the whole situation. So you're not entirely hopeless. Of course there's a catch. And of course you won't tell me what it is. Why not? Thing is, you are a heroine promised in legends. A heroine to save the world and us all and so on and so forth. And the Orb of Fate is your tool of the world-saving trade. Oh, and also the only chance to survive. What? I'm also baffled, but let's not lose our heads. My ability to speak, form words in my mouth is slowly slipping away ever steadily. Heads can be useful. At least you can boil them. Have you ever tasted head stew with orange juice? It's the most refreshing thing ever. Oh, wait, what? Darling, are you healthy? You're spacing out. This is not time to get sick, because we have to do a lot of stuff. You said we. Well, of course. I'm your mentor, after all. Oh, boy. Nice to meet you. The seer stretched out her hand. Only now I noticed that her hands were black to the elbow and each finger ended in a delicate claw. I guess it must be the blue lighting that makes me look kind of navy. Alright. I identify myself as a tin-tailed, black-footed ferret. A tin-tailed, black-footed ferret. Right. Of course you are. Yes. And sometimes as an owl. My name's Feral, by the way. Feral. Okay. But that's only for friends only. So you keep calling me the Seer, and don't you dare misname me. Your name is Lucia Fur, and you have a lot of middle names. And now please shake my hand so we can end this tiring social ritual. I obediently put my hand into the Seer's palm, and in the blink of an eye, she dragged me to the portal door. I heard the clank of the locks and words of some spell in an incomprehensible language. Though, maybe it was just the Seer's accent. She had a strange manner of talking and, well, strange manners in general. Oh, look, your suit is complete. What's the meaning of this? Am I in detention? Oh my god. Yep. Okay. And there's the exclamation mark. I mean, no, I totally saw it earlier. I wasn't distracted or anything. No. You're in my home. Home, right? The moist cave full of shining crystals is nothing I call home. There's a candle there, some books, and whatever this is. It was shocking that someone could live in here. It was even more shocking to find such a place behind the plain-looking door. Even if it was reeking of magic. On the other hand, the Seer didn't look like a plain anyone else. You can suit yourself, just don't touch anything or sit anywhere. Actually, we had a few freezing place. I don't remember where I put my invisible, magical, anti-personal landmines. They are experimental prototypes, my personal invention. By the way, what were we talking about? But if I'm not a prisoner, why did you shut the door then? It was chilly. Besides, it's not all that safe outside. Side effects of the imminent end of the world, you know. Even if you don't know, you will soon enough to be pro in this field, I assure you. End of the world? None of the fuck? Crap, that's unfortunate. I just recently transferred to this world and it's already in grave danger. Why do you think I'm the promised legendary heroine anyway? Well, you hit arrive like the legends promised. You demand the artifact like the legends promised. Besides, you see a secret sign above my head. Okay. I want a video game now or something to incorporate the quest markers above the important people's heads. Only to be seen by the Chosen One. That's enough for me. That's all the evidence you have? What if I just listened to all these legends and lied about seeing the secret sign? I see the truth, more often than not. And if I'm wrong, you'll simply die a horrible and pointless death. Like everyone else in the world, really. I don't see a problem, so don't worry. You don't see a problem? Yeah. Well, I mean, I was going to say, and you're the one with something over one of your eyes. Then again, she has something over both of her eyes, so. Hoot. Heroes often have psychological problems because of societal pressure. All the eyes are turned to them and the public has high expectations. Something like that. Yeah, placing high expectations on anyone, most people at least, can be obviously exceedingly taxing. It gets worse. Well, I would assume it would get worse the longer it's stuck with them. Like, get worse in the sense that it could be more damaging. The stress may actually fade if it's a more normalized thing for them, but just imagine the psychological impact of being in a society where, from a young age, you're told that you're some kind of savior, right? How would that kind of... what kind of person would that child grow up to be? Very dangerous stuff. Anyway, yeah. That was a little off topic. Well, it's more of a tangent and unimportant, but my brain is not working too well right now. I'm tired. You're completely safe with me. I have no idea how you managed to survive before a meeting, so I don't expect anything serious from you. Cherish it. Don't you say. I could use some words of encouragement. I'm here to mentor you and not to support. And what are you going to mentor me in? For starters, I'll tell you about the artifact that you crave so much. At first glance, it's just a vessel filled with energy. With a huge amount of energy, to be precise. But that doesn't make the artifact unique. There's something else about it that I can't quite make sense of. According to the legends, the Orb of Fate lets you communicate with this world's Solipsism core. Solipsism. Solipsism. What the fuck is a Solipsism core? The Solipsism core? What is this thing? And what does it do exactly? You don't need to know how it works. It's an ancient magical artifact. What's your guess? What's your guess? How many great heroes knew in detail the inner workings of the ancient world-saving artifacts? That's usually because they tend to be MacGuffins. It's... and while that's acceptable and isn't necessarily a bad thing, depending on how it's employed and the talent of the person writing the story, I'm kind of stalling up here, obviously. Focus my thoughts. Right. So, it would be better if you had some sort of explanation for why. Even if it's more of an inferred thing. Therefore, it's less tell and more show. But even just knowing how it works can help you build a more concrete plot from it. A MacGuffin doesn't have to just be the magical thing that, wins whatever conflict is happening. Especially because it makes it less likely for you to get lazy and just say, it does this and it does this. If you have a set idea of how it works, why it does what it does, then you can apply limitations to it. Therefore, it's less of a deus ex machina and serves an actual integral point, as opposed to tempting you to use it willy-nilly like some kind of genie. I'll tell you, not a single one. Bullshit! To be adept in such things, you need to spend years in magical library. If heroes would spend time on this, they would pursue PhD degrees in magical theory instead of saving the world. I'll have you know, I have played several Skyrim characters who attended college. Not a good example. That's really not a good example. And they would also suffer from terrible chronic back pain. Is that something you're intimately familiar with? I would think so. Death's job is a nightmare for your spine, trust me. I'm sure something is. But if I don't know how the orb works, how would I use it? I have no idea. Unlike you, I'm not a heroine, promised by legends. Think of something. Try dancing, perhaps. It helps some folks, from what I've read. Or just to do anything. Actually, it's not a bad option. Can't promise the artifact won't detonate if your heart rate spikes. Besides, if the legends are to be believed, the ability to use the orb's full potential is inherent within you. What if they're wrong? Well, if my assumptions are correct, the most probable outcome will be a lethal one. Plainly spoken, you'll die. Sharp teeth. Kick the bucket. Get boxed in. Bite the dust. But why should we be so pessimistic? Even if it's the most statistically probable result. Negative thinking is a bad companion for the new endeavors. It also makes you less likely to try and makes it more likely you'll just give up. There's a difference between being rational and being defeatist. Especially if they concern experimenting with ultra-powerful magical artifacts. Hoot. Seriously though, why don't you just tell me how the artifact works? We can save a ton of time and innocent lives. Not like I have innocent lives. Speaking about time, we don't have it. Explanation would take at least a week. Plus, almost as much time for you to recover from paradigm shock. Plus, they're creative whiskey, so that's an extra month. We can't postpone saving the world for a month. I already reset the doomsday clock twice. Oh, and to do it again would just be in poor form. It's a very complex and demanding magical procedure. I will go bankrupt buying the rare ingredients faster than you can say apocalyptic omens. Are you listening to me at all? Probably not. So no, we can't afford another delay. She probably hears you, she probably just isn't really taking in what's being said. Considering you still haven't passed your trial. Trial? What kind of trial? That is a trial. It's a normal heroic trial. Don't you read books at all? No matter, just trust me. I know the whole procedure. That's not fair. You told me you'll just give me the orb. Now it turns out I must overcome some kind of trial. What if I refuse? I promised to give the orb, but I never promised to give it away for free. That's one thing. Another one is that a process of heroic initiation is usually much more complicated. Alignment tests, physical and mental mapping, backstory checks. Candidates are waiting for months to be given release papers so they can go further. And where do they go? To the trial, of course. There are much fewer ancient artifacts and contenders for their ownership. That's why there's a selection process. So if you're not interested, wait. Okay, I'll take your trial. But after that, I get the Orb of Fate then and there. I knew we could make a deal. Hey, look! The exclamation point is gone. Quest accepted. I knew we could make a deal. It's not a deal, it's extortion. You say tomato, I say tomato. To remember what I said about negative thinking? Let's count it as me motivating you. And don't forget, it's all for the sake of saving the world. You know, that vicious grin, I can't think you even give half a fuck, apart from the fact that you might die in it. Might. You probably just hop, skip, and jump to another planet or reality and stay there. The seer looked so pleased and started worrying. There should be a caveat. I probably should have found out what kind of trial it was before agreeing to it. There's no caveat, just some random magic, some random number magic. Wait, are you reading my thoughts? Well, I'm a seer. You are the seer and not a telepath, not fair. Besides, you spoke it aloud. Can I really say it out loud? Yep. Okay, we've already established Lucy likes to think out loud, so yeah. I didn't really... Hey, wait. You're cheating. What kind of mentor are you? The best kind. I thought we were on the same side. This is for your own good. You'll have to concentrate a little if you want to save the world. Since I'm here to teach you, here's your first lesson. Positive outlook and concentration are two of the three key components of successful world saving. 2 of 3. And what's the third one? A huge battle axe. Positive outlook, concentration, and a huge battle axe. I like this philosophy. It's very nice. More people should take it into account. That's how you win. I can't believe I agreed to this. Where would I get a huge battle axe in the middle of a magical forest? For starters, get a card. A deck of divination cards appeared in the seer's hands again. I have no idea where she was keeping them all this time. Yeah, like I don't know where your pockets are. I still don't know. I mean, I have theories. I'm not going to voice said theories, of course. And yeah, as for her, there's really not a lot of places she... Then looking into the deck, the seer rapidly pulled 3 cards and started skillfully tossing them. I could barely follow the movement of her hands. At least I thought I could. Why are you doing this? I don't know what cards you chose anyway. Now you're not just confused, but also perplexed. Perfect conditions for random number magic. Should I be praying to RNGesus here? Now choose your destiny. Oh, shit. Right, well, I hope you enjoyed the episode. This has been fun so far. Now it's getting really interesting. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.